So, our players are ready. Let's begin. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Spring Championships. Round of 32. This is game number 2 in a best of 5 between Nagayumi and Farran34. The score is currently 1-0 in Nagayumi's favour. Spawning, let's start with Nagayumi, in the west of the map, in the colour blue. Saving recorded game, indeed.
Yeah, we do have to do that.
Yeah, we do have
as
to
part
do
of the
that.
tournament.
Starting with the 1 coin crate, though, not quite as nice as last time where they had the 2 wood crate starts, and they were like, yup, gonna lay down that trading post. Here, he's probably gonna, having said that, though, finds the 40 wood treasure in his base. Not that that's gonna help him lay down a trading post. I don't think he's gonna do that at all unless he finds another wood treasure very, very soon. But, yep. Guess going to make it a lot easier to get that market down, of course. Going to build a market out of this 100 wood that he spawned with, and then use that coin to buy some more wood at his market, and obviously collect a little bit of wood and coin. And obviously that wood treasure he's found means he just collects less wood. Get the hunting dogs upgrade, buy the wood for the house, etc, etc. Very standard stuff for France, really quite good. Early hunting dogs is very nice indeed. Now picking himself up the 40 food treasure, but that is Nagayumi in the colour blue, playing as the French. Here we have in the east of the map his opponent, Farran34, again. Playing as the British this time. I think spawning with an extra coin crate actually favours France a lot more than it does British. Because British, you know, they can get the extra manners down with that. And manners, you know, having an extra villager is really quite nice. But ultimately, the difference isn't that big. Because hunting dogs is probably just as good as an extra house. Having it early on, indeed. Of course, when you have like 15 villagers, hunting dogs is like having 1.5 extra villagers. Assuming they're all gathering food. But he has indeed found a nice early 50 coin treasure and a 40 coin treasure. Going to make it quite easy to get the hunting dogs. Finds the scout. Not too bad for him. Oh, he's not going for it.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, you and I both like this treasure quite a bit,
Yep.
but I'm not. We may be we may be the only people who do. It's just so nice to just quickly grab that scout and then be able to be on par with the French scouting ability.
Yeah.
But I would agree with you as well about the house and the market for British being. It's almost better actually to get the market because for most of early colonial you have more than 10 vills on, and they're all on food. So
Yeah.
but at the same time that vill disappears while aging, so it's. I'm not sure it's basically equal. I mean, there's no noticeable difference as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and sometimes it might be better to have a villager if your opponent's going to be aggressive, like is playing a civ that you know will be aggressive, because obviously hunting dogs cannot be retasked when they're forcing you off your food, but that villager can be, and that's a point Zeus Azuta has brought up in the past. But ultimately, it is not very different at all, and I think, you know, it doesn't really matter too much. But, yeah, what do you think of the matchup? British versus French, a vanilla matchup.
I think I played this matchup yesterday on SmackDown, and I think Zuda had a good point about how this is just like the classic Age of Empires 3 matchup where you can just kind of do whatever, you know, like if you want to see all the great standard play and opportunities, like, you know, going fast fortress or staying colonial, making any different mix units you want, this is the matchup for it. You know, like, for example, there's crossbow and longbow. There's not a lot of overlap in the units as well.
Yeah.
So
and
a lot of cool stuff to see.
It's a very exciting matchup. There's 2 different viable options, as we did cover yesterday. Nagayumi picking up that scout. Not going to be quite as useful to him, since he already has an extra scouting unit. And has already found this Nakuka clubman and has already captured most of the sheep. But still, having the extra scouting unit is not too bad. But the point is the British player didn't get it, and he only gets the 1 scouting unit. Though snaring the explorer, maybe everything's... Yep, that's what he's doing. He's found his opponent's explorer. Going to bring his own one over. Going to obviously either take it down or force it back to his opponent's base.
Yeah, I'm surprised that he didn't use. He could have abused this club to stop that that herding from happening over there on the. What are these things called? The elk. But
yeah, the moose. Well,
not the moose. The other one.
The other
elk.
herd. Yeah, this one I see.
But yeah, Boning has kind of amassed this like Native American army here. He's just been recruiting them.
Yeah, nice. But I was saying about how. This matchup, there's 2 viable options for French. Because, like, okay, British, let's look at them. They are the civ that's established as, I like to abuse the fact that I get villagers every time I build a house. Even though I don't need this population, I'm going to build the house. I said this yesterday. You get lots of villagers. You're established as the, I want to boom, and I'm going to do that. And I'm going to sit in my base, and you're going to have to deal with it. And French is like, well, I have 2 ways of dealing with that. I know I can't leave you. That's something I can't do. And you can either be sort of really aggressive in the early portion of the game by building crossbowmen and pikemen, and to do that obviously you send your 700 wood shipment, your 600 wood shipment, really efficient shipments, and you collect nothing but food, which is the most efficient resource to gather. Really efficient rush, and that's like you efficiently get out lots of units which are efficient at doing damage. I'm going to say the word efficient a lot. Or the other option is do that sort of timing pressure, get the nice 4 villager shipment out, which is really strong, and go up to fortress and just, you know, use skirmishers and dragoons, which are really strong against what British will be making in the colonial age.
Yeah, exactly. And I think from yesterday, you know what my approach would be. I'm the guy who likes to go for more of like a longer drawn out game. So I usually go for that fortress option with like really effective, efficient units, and like mixing in the cuirassiers.
Yeah.
But like it's interesting. Like the British players has the longbow, which are incredible, and then the cuirassier are also incredible. So it's kind of funny that you still would want to make longbow even if they're making cuirassier, because that's how good they are.
So much range, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's the range and the fact that they fire so fast when they're focused on a single target. And cuirassier happened to be a single target, like it's like one big unit kind of unit.
Yeah, one big unit, lots of HP, and.
But we should probably talk about what the players are doing now, though. Looks like we got tower going down, racks going down for the British player, and it looks like he's going to go muskets like right out the gate. French player going for a cav semi, so and I think that's very much Nagayumi style. He likes to age up and get into fortress for sure.
Yeah, I think that's true. Obviously, you can be aggressive with the crossbows and the pikes, as I was saying, but that's probably only good like when your opponent doesn't have that many hunts. I think going up to fortress certainly gives you a lot more options, and it gives you the option, if you're a skilled player at least, I think it gives you like a better odds, because you can do more, like being in fortress and make it. If the game goes on longer, you can like use your skill level to the more advantage anyway. But yep, 4 villagers coming out, absolutely right. That really strong 4 village shipment. Get a few cavalry out whilst he's collecting the resources to age. Of course, 700 coin going to be arriving pretty soon, and that'll get him up to the next stage. But can do some raiding with the cavalry in the meantime versus British.
Yeah.
This really nice economy, really strong timing fortress pressure. British, can they weather the storm though? Starting with the racks. And of course, 700 wood, that really efficient shipment coming out. Going to get some villagers out with that. And of course, add in a second military building. He's got lots of hunt. Is looking okay. But that pressure is going to be arriving pretty soon.
Yeah, but the raid probably isn't going to be too effective because there's about to be 5 muskets right there. And, well, basically Nagayumi's taking advantage of this. See, this is very Japanese style. Like skipping 700 wood, going just for the vills, and then the 700 gold. And he's going to have that fast time that is very much
coming in. Can he fix that vill up? It's pretty close to the tower. He doesn't get it. Yeah.
That's safe.
That's true. As you were saying, the musketeers have sort of denied him any ability to kill any villagers here. But still worth trying, definitely. I like how he's got 5 musks on the other hunt on the other side.
Well, yeah, I was going to say that too. I think it's well positioned and well defended. But, I mean, basically the reason the hussar are made is because when you make the hussar, then they have to make the musket. So I mean, and they also obviously they don't position, and that's like a really good outcome. But yeah, the neutral outcome here is that the guy had to make 10 muskets. So
which is perfectly fine. I mean, and it gives you the option you might possibly get a villager kill, force your opponent to make 10 muskets. And if you're going up to, like, if you're doing this semi-FF, you just have the time to build 5 kev anyway. I guess that's just the way the build is.
Exactly. I mean, I guess my point is that sometimes if both players are playing well, it's not that turned out poorly for either of them. Like, it's just a neutral outcome. They both did what they wanted to do. The cav was made, the cav was deflected.
Yeah.
It didn't die. No vills died. So.
Yeah, that's true. And you can always pick up one maybe, but definitely still making use of them, even though he didn't get a villager kill. Killing off the polar bears here, picking up 135 XP as a direct result of having these cavalry. And they're still on the board. Like, he's still going to have them, and he can still, like, come in at some cheeky moment in the Fortress Age that he is now up to do some raiding, and they're still units, absolutely.
Yeah, and this is a lot like StarCraft with the siege tanks kind of thing. Like, basically, you just kind of want to keep them from packing or whatever and moving out across the map, and that's what these cav are really meant to do. And by leaving, now these muskets have gotten the opportunity to go out and try to make a raid happen, or a big push happen. And now, I think that this is going to be a little bit too late, though. I think that he did enough of a stall with the cav. I mean, sure, these are 20 muskets, but you know that we both know. Oh, wait, never mind. With 700 wood, maybe he doesn't have a shipment. I was going to say, there should be 8 skirms coming.
Yeah, that's true. He does have 2 trading posts, though, so maybe there is a bit of extra... Oh, no, it's not fully built. Where's that Explorer going? It's not fully built. Maybe he uses the hotkey that selects all your military, like I do, and then you right-click somewhere, and that includes your Explorer whilst he's building the trading post, and it's really awkward because you forget about that. But
I think he shift-clicked that, and it didn't go.
Perhaps.
I've had it happen a lot.
But my point was, I was going to say, he has 2 trading posts. Maybe that's a bit of extra XP. It's just now that he sent this 700 wood shipment rather than 8 skirms, that means his first military shipment is going to be delayed, and it's going to give the British extra time, and obviously all these extra villages, like the longer they have to gather, the better. The less the longer it takes for the pressure to arrive, the better. I mean, the 8 skirms are here now, but they could have been sooner. Certainly, the benefit of the 700 wood is that he can collect food and coin. He doesn't have to collect wood for houses now. He's got that extra 7. But then he did find 135 XP. Maybe he can squeeze it in. Maybe it was worth squeezing in. I don't know.
No, I think it is for sure.
I think it's good.
You need the wood. Normally you would send the wood anyway. It just would have been sooner or before the gold. So he's basically just aged up way faster than most people would. And he still sent the same cards. I mean, I think it's totally fine. And this raid going down the Ville here, denying the house build as well. So this kind of also denying a little bit, like what Brit like to do with the houses is kind of use them so Villes don't have to walk as well. Like building a house there will expand to that hunt without having to walk. But look at these skirms getting caught. If these if he notices and he pulls the cav away from the muskets, those are so dead.
Has he seen them? I don't know how much line of sight they have. They're going forward. He's brought them off. Though fortunately, 6 Dragoons there coming out just in time. Going to be using them to deflect the cav. Wow, he could have killed like 2 or 3 skirms if he'd done that a little bit sooner.
He could have killed them all if he had done it right away. That would have been every single skirm dying.
Wow, that would have been pretty
Meanwhile, though, I think to be fair, Nagayumi's the reason why he probably didn't notice that is because Nagayumi's been in his base forcing him to multitask. These Hussar got another Ville, and look at these skirms are going to walk up on a bunch of muskets that are getting a lot of position. Nice split by him as well, getting 3 of the 5 there.
Yeah, nice job killing some musks, straying a bit too far. But, I think he's going to lose these cav, obviously, that he made during the colonial age here. They're getting caught. Though, can he dupe him out of this? No, he's just
I think that Reign of Terror is over for those 3 Hussar.
Yeah, but still, pulling back with these cav here to deal with it. And
buying time, right? Those 4 Hussar are a time-buying maneuver. So, and any Villes he got were just a bonus, which he got like 2 or 3, I think.
Yeah, true, but that's fine. Like as you say, they got 2 or 3 Villes, and they're not hugely useful now that he's up to Fortress anyway. Dragoons and skirmishers are really the units you want to be making. Skirms absolutely annihilate musketeers. Dragoons absolutely annihilate hussars, and obviously British is in the colonial age. That's really the only 2 things he's going to be making. Though it is pulling out these longbowmen here, but that's a lot of infantry, and he does have his 2 Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we see like 5 more Huss or something, maybe he could make a timing attack here, but it's got to be well positioned. I think Nagayumi also realizes that this can happen though, so he's not going to let it happen. He's falling back and just kind of waiting. He's waiting till he gets a bigger mass, because if his mass gets big enough, there's just nothing that Farran can really do here.
Yeah, do you think it's good to go here? I mean, like now the skirm's going to pick off some units, going to walk into a volley of cannons, boom, takes some damage. Not too good for him now. Going to walk back. He doesn't want to do that. Doesn't want to take it, of course. France, has a really good economy from the shipments he was sending earlier, and is now like in the Fortress Age, sending these massive military shipments. Really powerful, really big power spike here. And obviously British, the longer the game goes on, the more it shifts to their favour. Do you think perhaps he ought to... Oh, no, we do have an engagement coming in. Lots of cavalry. Not that very many anti-cavalry, and of course... I mean, they're very efficient, but body blocking with Hussars isn't really what you want to do. Though, fortunately, not actually able to get to those cannons. They're definitely up. All the Huss go down. There really aren't very many infantry units here. Obviously, they're going to die really quick to these 2 cannons, which are alive. I think this is really, really good for France.
Yeah, I think so as well. And the problem here is there's been too many really bad pick exchanges where, like, he would go in, make a mistake, and then lose, like, 6 or 7 units. And, you know, if he had 15 to 20 more units in that fight from not getting picked off forever, you know, it would have been... maybe possible, but and now this exchange went very poorly for him, and the score is just very telling right now that, you know, he's in trouble.
Oh, it was so, like, he was trying to get to the cannons or whatever he was trying to do, but, like, the Dragoons are so efficient. I mean, the only thing Dragoons aren't good at is body blocking, in the sense that if the cav just come up to the cannons, they'll come up and get to the cannons. You can't really block them, and if you do, Dragoons aren't very good at blocking things because they don't have those insane ×5 multipliers like pikemen do. But anyway, I was saying, like, do you think, like, since the game does shift to his favor the longer it goes on because of all these villagers and the fact that he can just get villagers out of his houses, was being that far forward, that was fairly interesting. What did he have in mind?
Which one? Oh, this house, you mean? Well, I mean,
like... No, I mean, like, British generally. Like, could he have been waiting in his base, waiting for France to come to him?
I don't think so. I think that he's actually not in a good... Like, I think he's not really in a good position to fight Fortress Age units without the Fortress Age units of his own. I think H3 French beats H2 British. But,
and that is the end of the game there. Second game goes to Nagayumi. And I don't know. Like, I was going to say a solid win. It is just a solid win. It was just a solid 13-minute win.
Yeah, he just got out mechanicked. Like, you know, the Cav did a good job. Like, they still got value somehow and bought time, and he was just getting so many picks to the skirms. I'm sure if we look at military population graph, see before the fight happens, like, there's these little dips in the graph for like the only dips in Nagayumi's graph are the 4 Hussar that he lost. There's the the couple dips, but Farran has these big dips right before. He went from 58 pop to 44 before the fight even really started.
You can see him losing units every now and again throughout the graph as well.
Yeah,
but that's the end of this one. Let's hop into the next game.
Yeah, absolutely.